The BJP in Karnataka has formed in fact two fact-finding teams to investigate a series of maternal deaths and suicides in the state. The 13-member team focusing on maternal deaths will be led by three legislators, Shailendra Ballari, Avinash Jadhav and Chandru Lakmani. Now, those three members will be leading, the legislators will in fact be leading a fact-finding report and a team. The team will probe, in fact, the death at government hospitals, particularly in Ballari, where at least 5 maternal deaths have occurred within a month. Meanwhile, a separate 17-member team will investigate a troubling series of suicides across the state, including the cases of several government employees. Among those leading the team will be Tirthalli MLA and former Home Minister Araga Jananendra, and the BJP says that the teams will gather facts and analyze the root cause behind these incidents. So what we do know in fact so far is that there will be two fact-finding teams, one consisting of 13-member team which will focus on maternal deaths, include three legislators including Shailendra Ballari, Avinash Jadhav and Chandru Lakmani. This will be one team that will probe the government hospitals and the death of women in Ballari. Another team, which will consist of 17 members, will investigate a series of suicides across the state. Now, there's been a flurry of suicides and deaths as far as new mothers is concerned, especially in Ballari, where a committee has now been formed, a fact-finding committee has now been formed to report on what's exactly leading to death of new mothers. This 13-member team will investigate death in government hospitals, particularly in Ballari, of young mothers, where at least 5 maternal deaths have occurred just within this month. A separate 17-member team will also investigate troubling series of suicides across the state, including the case of several government employees committing suicide. My colleague Wajiullah joining us live with more details. Waji, let's quickly talk about what's happening in Ballari first, where we in fact reported previously that young mothers, that women who are expected to either deliver or have delivered, have been injected with IV fluids which could have potentially harmed them. We now know a 13-member team will really investigate the root cause of these deaths. We're given to understand at least 3 maternal deaths have occurred within a span of 1 month alone.
Well, the opposition BJP has constituted a fact-finding committee to look into these deaths because they believe that this is another issue with which the government has been hiding facts and have been misleading the people, and that is why they believe that a fact-finding committee from the BJP will be able to give a clearer picture. But if we see what had happened in the Belgaum session, Belgaum winter session, the minister categorically answered to the question, saying that the company that was supplying these IV fluids have been banned and a case has been registered against them, and they have also stopped the supply. But what we need to understand is that we had also done an investigation. News9 had done an investigation. In that investigation, also we had pointed out how those medicines that were procured had not gone to the required tests that were given. When they were taken, when the samples were bought in September, November, when the procurement was received in September, October, till March, there was no test that was done. So now the BJP believes that there is more to it than what the eyes meet, and the fact-finding committee will not just look into the deaths that have happened in Ballari, but will also look into the deaths that have happened across the state in areas like Raichur, Hubli. In fact, there were deaths reported from Bangalore also. So they are trying to find out whether it is the IV fluid that was responsible or it was medical negligence from the hospitals. And so all these things will now come out. We'll have to wait and watch what the BJP comes out. While the government, on the other hand, has answered to these questions on the floor of the House, saying that yes, there were some lapses that have happened because the medicines that they had got were approved from the central lab, but there was no lab testing. According to our reports, there were no lab testing that were done. And as we speak, they are testing all these medicines, and they've already banned the use of IV fluids that were taken from other Western West Bengal pharmaceutical company.
All right, that is of course the maternal deaths, but we are also given to understand that BJP has also formed a 17-member team to investigate a troubling series of suicides, including that of several government employees. And this will be led by Tirthalli MLA and former Home Minister Araga Jananendra.
Well, yes, after the death of Sachin, the contractor, where he had leveled allegations against Raj Kanpur, who is a close aide of Priyank Kharge, the BJP believes that there is another rising crisis or another scam that is behind the death of this particular person, because he also died after posting a note saying that he was asked bribe from Raja Kanpur, who is believed to be a close aide to Priyank Kharge, and the BJP has constantly cornered the government, asking for Priyank Kharge's resignation and also demanding that a CBI investigation should be given into this entire matter. While Parmeshwar today spoke to the press and have said that there will not be any CBI investigation, but our CID is capable enough to investigate the matter, and not every case can be given to CBI. While Priyank Kharge, on the other hand, have also demanded an investigation into the matter and has categorically denied any role in this, saying that I have no idea what happened between these two people. It was a transaction between the two of them, and I have nothing to do with this, is what he's clarified. Now we'll have to wait and watch how much pressure the BJP will how much pressure from the BJP will actually amount to the Karnataka government taking this case and handing it over to the CBI. But as we speak, the Karnataka government is clear to the fact that the CID will investigate this matter and they will not be handing it over to the CBI.
All right. I have to ask, I think it's important for our viewers to also know, perhaps, Vaji, what is really the mandate of such committees? It's obviously formed by the opposition parties. They're trying to build political pressure on the ruling Congress party. But what is the power that they really exercise? What is their jurisdiction? And can they, by the virtue of what they really find out, press the government into action?
Well, the opposition fact-finding committee consists of all MLAs and MLCs, and these are people who are directly connected with the people on the ground, and they are elected representatives. And that is why this fact-finding committee will try to punch into the report that has been filed by the government, and they will try to contradict the government with regards to whatever their finding will be. Because the BJP believes that it is their and it is the opposition's duty also to investigate matters that happen in the state, despite the fact that the government has constituted its own body to look into this matter. So this particular body may have its own political inclinations also, but it is also important, because that's the role of the opposition, to make sure it keeps a vigil on the government. And by organizing this, by constituting this fact-finding committee, that is what they will be trying to play to make sure that they are the right visual for the government, and see if the government has tried to hide anything in these deaths. And that is what the BJP believes will come out in their fact-finding committee report.
All right, the BJP believes it's going to uncover some hard facts for the government to look at. We'll be building pressure as opposition leaders on the ruling government to really take a stock of situation as far as maternal deaths in Ballari is concerned, as well as general series of suicides which have now come to light from across Karnataka.